Good evening, folks. Meteorologist Justin Esterly here with a special weather update for us into this evening. A significant severe weather event is expected to unfold as we roll into later portions of this evening. Currently, the home view looks a little bit like this. We had some sunshine through the afternoon after our first round of storms came by. Now some high clouds and some mid-level clouds are working back across the state to sort of cap us where we're at. So places that had time to recover are going to have a better chance to see some significant severe weather tonight. Even places that maybe not so much, they're still going to have a good threat for this severe complex as it moves through. So the home view is now cloudy, but it is warm and it is muggy. Now you can see the areas on our temperatures where we had those rain showers last longer. They haven't had much time to recover in eastern Kentucky, where temps are in the upper 60s, and then through portions of central Kentucky here you can see some temperatures currently in the low 70s. Now areas where we see temperatures in the upper 70s or even the low 80s, those are the areas that are refueled for this, at least in the temperature department. Now if we look at the dew points, this is how muggy it is outside. It's also how much fuel we have for the storms in terms of moisture. It's there for everybody still. Even in eastern Kentucky with dew points in the lower 60s in some spots, we have upper 60s to low 70s with the dew point, all the juice we need for these storms to tap into. Now as we watch for what is expected through the rest of tonight, here is where we currently sit. Quiet here in central and eastern Kentucky right now. As expected, we've got a few hours before things could get kicked off again. The cold front's working in. We've got tornado watches all throughout western Kentucky and further into Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, and even northern Arkansas. A confirmed tornado warning right now moving into Paducah. A dangerous situation for folks in western Kentucky as we sit. All of these storms right now are what we call discrete supercells. Now they are going to eventually form into a nice congealed line, and as that line works towards us, that's when all of our threats for the severe weather begin. Currently, if we look at this, the tornado watch is not into our area yet, but as storms approach the end of that, we will likely see this expanded to cover everybody else as we get into later tonight. Typically, a watch gets pushed out well past when storms are expected to roll through. So expect a tornado watch to come out in the next couple of hours and likely be through the early morning hours on Saturdays. You've got a few more hours to plan if you haven't. Right now, the recording of this video, or the time, is almost 6 p.m. We're about 5:47 right now. So from now through 2 a.m., we're expecting storms to be possible. Now, a couple of discrete supercells could pop up out ahead of the main line. If they do, they pose the same significant severe weather threat as the squall line itself. That's what we call this large line of organized storms. It's going to race to the east once it gets put together here for us, and as it does, all severe types are going to be on the table. We have a level 4 risk for numerous and widespread and potentially significant severe weather in the red shaded region. From Flemingsburg all the way down through Pulaski County, including everybody up to Cincinnati and pointing to the west, we are in the heart or the target of what is expected to be a long night. That's level 4 out of 5. We only have one higher severe outlook risk to go, so this is relatively important for us. Of course, even into where areas might be a little bit more stable, a level 3 risk zone is in place. We haven't seen many updates to that today. It's been holding pretty true, and the threats remain the same. 70+ mile-an-hour straight line winds are going to be possible, especially as that line itself works through. Along that line, we are going to see the potential for some rotation, meaning some notches or some tornadoes are going to spawn embedded within that line as it works to the east. It's going to be something we'll have to watch as the whole line moves into, adds another layer of potential danger for us. Hail greater than 2 inches, especially if we can get a couple of those supercells I spoke on to pop up earlier, we could see some large hail. We already had some in southeastern Kentucky with the morning round of storms, and that is going to be possible again through tonight. On top of that, some spots got over 1 to 2 inches of rainfall from this morning's round of showers and storms. So we have a flood watch and some flash flooding possible for us as more significant rainfall comes in as these storms work through. Let's talk about timing now. Futurecast is trying to figure this out, as are we, and it's been doing a pretty good job of it so far. You see all of the clusters here, all these isolated instances all across the map. It wants in the next hour or two to pop up a couple of those through south central Kentucky. Definitely can't rule it out for us as the night wears on. Then we start to get into 8, 9 o'clock, and it starts to form a little bit more of a line here. Now, wherever this line does set up, it could be filled in a little further back and then race to the east. But as it does, this is where we start to see the organization kick in. Once it does fully kick in, we're talking about southern and eastern Kentucky getting that main line to move through sometime 10, 11, maybe even midnight. That's where our greatest straight line wind threat will come in, and it will then be filled in behind it with some heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, loud thunder expected as the rest of this moves past us midnight, now 2 a.m. on Futurecast with that storm system. By tomorrow morning, it's all said and done. We're talking about waking up to some sunshine. The humidity gets peeled back quite a bit, and we'll find ourselves in some much more comfortable air through the weekend into Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny at times with temperatures in the upper 70s. Until 4 a.m., we have that flood watch in place for everybody in the green shaded area. So that's your other layer as we watch the system come about. Again, all is calm for now, but things are going to continue to progress through tonight. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you have a game plan. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, and make sure that those alerts can wake you up if you decide to hit the bed before we go into the overnight hours tonight. So keep an eye on that. We're going to be here the rest of this evening through the overnight to make sure that you have all the latest updates with these storms. We'll do another Facebook Live update for you here coming up at 6:30, and then of course once things get going for you, we'll be back in live on air, online, on the web as these storms start to roll through. Thanks for watching. Meteorologist Justin Esterly here with the Fox 56 Weather Authority. Have a safe night.